Miles, how do you explain what we just witnessed there?
This is a group that plays better through adversity. You know, we got punched in the mouth last game. We had a hell of a response. I think the starters set the tone, and the bench picked it up the rest of the game.
Take us inside the locker room, inside the film session, the last 48 hours after you went through what happened Friday night.
Oh, yeah, we got ripped. You know, you can't give a team 18 offensive rebounds or 19, whatever it was, and expect to win a game. You know, I think that we know that, you know, our point of attack initially defensively is great, but if you give any team a chance and opportunity to keep shooting in this league, it's going to happen.
We lost count how many times in our meeting with Coach Carlisle before the game he talked about rebounding. How much of that did he convey to you guys about that had to be the emphasis to start the game?
I'm telling you, when we got ripped, bull. Like, that's just, you know, that's what it's about. You know, at this point in the year, you work so hard to get here, or you work so hard to get a stop, and you give them a free shot. So we knew that was the emphasis. Still going to be the emphasis going forward, and yeah, man, we got to get one more.
Don's talked all year about this team's mental toughness. Would you say that this is the greatest test of that mental toughness going back home?
1,000%, for sure.
They dominated with their force. They raised their game to another level, and we didn't match it. We talked about it. We knew it was coming. I don't know. You try to prepare for these things. You try to prepare your guys mentally, but for whatever reason, they like I said, they were at another level. Their force was greater in every sense. There wasn't like, well, this aspect or rebound. I thought it was rebounding. Physicality. We were running our offense at half court. You know, they had us pushed out. Couldn't get to our spots. It was really kind of physical domination.
Basketball fans, welcome back. So things are not looking good for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the injury struggles of the Cleveland Cavaliers have just plagued the team. Right now, they're down 3-1 to the Indiana Pacers. Donovan Mitchell, he sustained an ankle injury that saw him sidelined for the rest of the game in Game 4 and subsequently going down 3-1 to the Indiana Pacers. And with the Cleveland Cavaliers situation, there's a high likelihood they are going to miss out on winning Game 5. And their home court advantage was stolen away by the Indiana Pacers, and Tyrese Haliburton is just having a field day out there. So recent updates on the matter have revealed that Donovan Mitchell may be sidelined for the rest of the game. That was mid-game during that game, and he had his left ankle. He had his left ankle in there, and with the Cavs, when they were down 41 at that point against the Indiana Pacers, things were just looking bleak. So this was just the final nail to the Cleveland Cavaliers' coffin. And the Cleveland Cavaliers postseason has been plagued by injuries, with key players such as Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and DeAndre Hunter missing crucial games. The team found themselves stacked up with losses in their first 2 games. So a healthy roster in Game 3 showed signs of, they're back in this, and they came out with that blowout win. But however, that Donovan Mitchell injury in Game 4, that ankle injury, was that thing that made them drop they dropped Game 4. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, even before they won that Game 3, their home court advantage was stolen away by the Indiana Pacers. They were able to win 2 games on the road, and they were able to defend home court in Game 4. And Game 5, as the game goes back to Cleveland, there's a lot of doubts, and there's a lot of issues, especially when it comes to like their offense. Who's going to be that guy's going to step up for the Cleveland Cavaliers? So the offensive onslaught carried out by the Pacers in the first half has put a lot of pressure on the Cleveland Cavaliers heading into the second, with the additional pressure of seeing their stars out of the rotation. The Cavs will hope to see their core of Darius Garland and even Mobley aid their efforts to overcome the deficit that they've been experiencing, especially in the first 2 games that the Cleveland Cavaliers played. This was sad. Even you could see Kenny Atkinson here when he gave out a report, an injury report on that left ankle injury. He came out and said he's gonna get an MRI report so that he could be able to establish if he can be able to continue or his return date, because as we speak right now, only 1 game separates the Indiana Pacers to the East Finals, back to where they were last season, and only one win away separates the Knicks in making history, because the injury bug has been creeping in the postseason, especially in the East, because on the other side of the bracket, you could see the whole Jason Tatum after dropping 42 points. He was also injured, and things are not looking good for JT as well. And this has been an Achilles heel, because the Celtics and the Cavs have been one of the better teams in the East, and you're seeing them getting upset before our very eyes. So the Indiana Pacers have been great. So, I mean, Donovan Mitchell, when he's healthy, he has been great, and he shows signs of brilliance to begin with in the third game. But in the fourth, you could see it was an utter blowout, and they were down 41 at the half. And this whole situation is the final nails in the coffin for the Cavs, and I don't think they can be able to come back from this. I don't think the Cleveland Cavaliers have the experience, or they have the talent to be able to dig them out of this 3-1 deficit. I know the Cavs came back down 3-1 the Warriors, but that roster had LeBron and Kyrie. There's no LeBron and Kyrie right now for the Cavs. So who's going to go ahead and step up? And looking at the way Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, TJ McConnell, Miles Turner, Obi Toppin have been dominating these Cavaliers, there's a high likelihood this series ends in 5. And the Cleveland Cavaliers in that game 4 went on to lose that game 129-109. A drastic improvement, considering they had lost by only 20 points. With several bench players getting significant minutes by the end of the fourth, it was very clear that the game was put away much earlier. And this might be the end of the Cavs postseason. I mean, I'm prepared to see them get eliminated. I mean, I wouldn't bat my eyelash if, they get eliminated like that, because the injury bug just crept in. This was one of the most successful seasons for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They won 64 games, and for it to end like this, it's so heartbreaking. And the Pacers, they have a roster that can be able to even compete and be able to even go to the NBA Finals. I'll not be shocked if the Pacers make the NBA Finals, because the way they have been playing, especially with Tyrese Halliburton's offense and his 3-point shooting abilities, I don't think there's anything stopping this Pacers team. The only team that's going to be able to stop them is either the Knicks or Celtics. But looking at the Celtics, they don't have Jason Tatum in there, which I'm going to address in the future video. But if you look at the Knicks, the way they are playing right now, you're going to see Jalen Brunson. There are reports that are saying that the team has not even played their best basketball yet, which is interesting because they are up 3-1 at this point. But it's looking more like Knicks and Pacers East Finals as we speak. And out west, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves up 3-1 on the Warriors. And the winner of that will be waiting for also the winner of the Nuggets Thunder series. So I'm also staying tuned to that, and I'll also be releasing videos on that. So, I mean, prayers up for Donovan Mitchell. I mean, he has played his heart out. They had that first round sweep on the Miami Heat, but it's unfortunate that the Cleveland Cavaliers will not be able to have his services. If he's ruled out for for a couple of weeks, that means the Cleveland Cavaliers team will be short-handed, and without that star player in Donovan Mitchell, winning this series or even pushing this series to 7 games will be very difficult. And coming back down to 3-1 will be so hard, because the Cleveland Cavaliers need to win 3 straight, and the Pacers need to only win 1. So, yeah, it's tough. And also, on the other series, you can see the Celtics will be a very tall ask to ask the Celtics to win 3 straight games, because they're lacking the services of JT. We are yet to establish what's up with JT's injury, and he went down limping in the final 2 minutes of the fourth. And also, Stephen Curry is yet to suit up for the Warriors in the past 2 games, and the Minnesota Timberwolves have been having a field day. So, I mean, the injury bug has crept in, and it's not looking good for these teams that are down 3-1. So the only series that looks to go and play out all 7 games as we speak is the OKC Thunder versus Denver Nuggets. And this series is very important because it features two MVP candidates in Nikola Jokic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And I mean, there have been allegations that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been, foul baiting, which I'm going to talk about in the next video. So stay tuned to that. And yeah, man, I mean, this postseason has been awesome. I'm back. I mean, expect these videos of this nature to be, turning up. And yeah, man, I'm out. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
It's just basketball, bro. I get paid a lot of money to play a child's game, so I love what I do. I love my job. Yeah, I don't even really look at it as a job. I have a lot of fun with what I do, and I think there's, always commentary behind what I do, positive or negative, and I mean, it's hilarious because a lot of times it's people who know nothing about me have so much to say. It's usually the people who, don't come around or don't spend any time around me that have the most to say. But that's all part of it. I'm a basketball player. I love what I do. I love being here in Indiana. I love playing for this organization. I feel like, criticism, sometimes it's warranted, sometimes it's not, but it's all part of it. And I feel like, as far as, last game, I feel like our PR team does a great job of, putting me out there when it's time to talk. And I got to come out here and talk when it is time. And, I think, Mike and the staff did, tried to protect me a little bit. Last game maybe went a little overboard. Maybe I should have overruled it and come out here, but I wasn't really in the mood to speak. And he told me that he didn't want me to speak, so I left. And so if that's a problem, you guys are more than willing. I mean, obviously, you guys are more than willing to talk about it. So keep having commentary around it. I'll continue to do what I do and live my life the same way. But it's all part of it, man. But it's just basketball. And I guess I'd rather have this issue. I'd rather have you guys talking about me positive, negatively, talking about me than not care who I am at all. So, I mean, life's good.